It started on a rainy night, the kind that made the roads shine like silver snakes and the neon lights bleed into puddles. A thunderstorm rolled over the small town of Ridgeport, and inside a flickering roadside diner, a moment was about to unfold that no one would ever forget. If you're watching this, stay with me till the end, because what one man did that night changed an entire town's heart. This isn't just a story about a biker gang leader or a broken waitress. It's about redemption, courage, and how sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who carry the biggest hearts. The door slammed open, wind howling in behind him. Cole Maddox, known on the streets as Reaper, stepped inside. He was 6 feet of leather scars and quiet rage. His black jacket bore the emblem of the Iron Serpents, Ridgeport's most feared biker gang. Most people looked away when Cole walked in. But tonight, his eyes didn't scan for threats. They stopped on a girl behind the counter, trying to balance 3 coffee cups with shaking hands. Her name tag read Leela. Her smile trembled under the buzzing fluorescent lights. Cole sat at the counter, his heavy boots thudding against the tiles. "Black coffee," he muttered. She nodded, avoiding his eyes. That's when he saw it, a dark bruise blooming under her sleeve as she reached for the pot. He didn't say anything at first, just watched as she poured, her hands trembling so hard she spilled a few drops. "Sorry," she whispered, and the sound of that word, it was too small, too fragile. Cole wasn't used to hearing fear in someone's voice. It made something twist inside him. Hours later, the diner emptied. The storm eased, leaving the night cold and quiet. Cole lingered, pretending to nurse his coffee. When the last car pulled away, he caught sight of a man outside, leaning against a pickup, smoking, watching through the window. Leela froze when she saw him. Her whole body went still, like prey spotting its predator. The man stumped out his cigarette and stormed inside, grabbing her by the wrist. "You're late," he hissed. Cole heard the sound of skin slapping skin. Before anyone could breathe, the chair beneath Cole screeched backward. His voice was calm but low, dangerous, like a rumble of thunder before the lightning hits. "You might want to let go of her, friend." The man turned, sneering. "This ain't your business." Cole stood up, eyes like cold steel. "It is now." What happened next shocked everyone in the diner and soon the whole town. Cole wasn't just defending her. He was taking a stand against everything he'd once been. Leela's boyfriend, Dean, was a local mechanic, mean when drunk, meaner when sober. Everyone knew about his temper, but no one ever interfered. Until that night, Dean swung first, but Cole caught his wrist midair and twisted. The sound was sickening. Dean went down hard. Cole didn't hit him again, he just stood over him and said, "If you ever touch her again, I'll bury you myself." Then, without another word, he helped Leela up, handed her his jacket, and walked her out into the rain. Word spread fast. By morning, the Iron Serpent's clubhouse was buzzing. The Reaper had stood up for a waitress, protected her from some lowlife instead of starting a fight. It didn't fit his legend. Cole didn't care. He'd seen too much pain to stay silent anymore. Leela didn't ask for his help, but he showed up anyway. Every night after that, sat in the corner booth, made sure Dean never came back. She started to smile again. Slowly, she talked. Told him about the nights she'd hide in the storeroom until Dean passed out, about the dreams she'd buried under fear. One evening, she said softly, "Why do you care, Cole?" He looked at her for a long time before answering. "Because someone once cared when I didn't deserve it." Cole had grown up in fists and smoke. The gang had been his family when no one else wanted him. But lately, he'd been questioning what kind of man he'd become. How many people he'd scared, how many lives he'd wrecked without realizing. Lila's pain was a mirror, showing him what he'd turned into. Then came the night Dean returned. He wasn't alone. 3 men followed him into the diner, armed with anger and booze. Cole stood up slowly, cracking his knuckles. "You really want to do this?" he said. Dean spat at his feet. "You think you're some kind of hero. You're just trash with a bike." The fight was brutal. Chairs shattered. Plates crashed. But when it was over, it wasn't just Dean who was broken. It was the silence that had ruled Ridgeport for years. For the first time, people saw Cole Maddox not as a criminal, but as a man who protected someone who couldn't protect herself. The cops showed up, but Lila spoke first. "He saved me," she said, voice trembling but clear. "He saved me." The charges were dropped. The diner reopened after repairs, and one morning Cole came in, still wearing his patched jacket, but now with a softer look in his eyes. "You okay?" he asked. Lila nodded. Better, she said. Then she smiled, really smiled, for the first time in a long while. Weeks passed. The Iron Serpent started changing too. Cole began pushing them to do charity rides, fundraisers for abused women and kids in shelters. The town that once feared them now waved when they passed. One night, standing under the neon glow of the diner sign, Cole looked at Leela and said, "You showed me something you know." She tilted her head. "What's that?" "That there's still good left to fight for, even in people like me." By the time the story reached every corner of Ridgeport, people had stopped calling him Reaper. They started calling him Protector. And for once, Cole Maddox didn't run from the name. Because sometimes, the hardest battles aren't fought with fists or bikes, but with the courage to do what's right when no one else will. And that's why what he did next, helping rebuild that diner into a community shelter, hiring people like Leela to work and heal, shocked the whole town. Not because it was violent, but because it was kind. And if you've made it this far, remember this: heroes don't always wear badges or capes. Sometimes they ride Harleys, carry scars, and stop for a cup of coffee on a rainy night.